Welcome to Travel Smart Weekly, the insider's travel guide from Independent TV. This is the series where we share our take on the best destinations to visit across the globe.
In this episode, we're exploring France in the autumn, which we think is one of the best times to visit.
Now, it's impossible to include all of the French destinations we love in just one episode, so we've pulled out just a few of our favourites, starting down in the south.
The towns along the French Riviera are quite stunning in summer, but it does get very hot, not to mention incredibly busy. But by September, the crowds will have thinned out a little, while the temperatures are still pleasantly warm.
This makes it the perfect time to drive between the many gorgeous towns along the coast, or explore by train. Nice is a good starting point. Make sure you take some time to wander around the old town, as well as along the promenade. And then you're spoilt for choice for charming towns along the coast, including Antibes, Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat, Villefranche-sur-Mer, and Èze.
Moving on to Provence, perhaps the most well-known and popular region in France, and for good reason.
This is the landscape that inspired Van Gogh, Cézanne and Renoir, where villages with cobblestone streets perch on hilltops, with bustling markets bursting with fresh French produce. In peak season, the roads can become clogged with tourists, while accommodation gets booked up months in advance and can be ruinously expensive. If you wait until October or November, you might not get the glorious display of lavender fields that treat visitors in July and August, but you may find you can get a seat in the charming cafes that feel oh so French and afford a bed in the most charming of Provence villages.
France is famed for its wine country, and if I had to pick one region to visit in autumn, I'd opt for Burgundy.
As the harvest season comes to a close in mid-September, the leaves turn to blazing reds and golds. It's the ideal backdrop to sipping a glass of wine or sampling typically French dishes from the region, like coq au vin, beef bourguignon, and escargot de Bourgogne. Moving up to the mountains. Although the French Alps are best known for skiing, before the snow falls can be the most magical time to visit. In Chamonix, the summer is also high season, with climbers, hikers, trail runners and sightseers flocking to the region to make the most of world-famous terrain and sights like the incredible Aiguille de Midi. But by September and October, kids have returned to school, most tourists have gone home, and the town is largely a return to the locals. Yet the scenery takes on a new form of beauty with the turning leaves and the snow starting to settle on the highest peaks.
We're finishing off in the north of France, in Brittany, which may not get the same attention in autumn when it starts to get chilly, but we think it deserves some love.
Brittany's coastline is markedly different from anything you will see in the south, and in September and October will feel wild and windswept without being bitterly cold. Wander through the pretty little medieval towns of Rochefort-en-Terre, Vannes, Dinan and Rennes, or tick off the famous lighthouses scattered along the coast of Finistère.
That's it for this episode of Travel Smart Weekly. Be sure to check in for the next episode, which you can watch on site, on the Independent's mobile app, or on your smart TV.
And for the latest travel news, reviews and advice, be sure to check out independent.co.uk/travel and listen to Simon Calder's daily podcast.